Okay, good afternoon, Year 7. Um, Before we get into our next lesson on the village project, I want you to write a paragraph that describes the relationship between Ratty and Mole, and I want you to include a quotation. I've got one here. This is Ratty talking to Mole. There is nothing, absolutely nothing, half so much worth doing as simply messing about in boats. I think their relationship is Ratty is he looks out for Mole. It's a sort of almost a parental child relationship, and he thinks that Mole needs to be encouraged to see all of life. He doesn't just look after him, he also encourages him to broaden his horizons. I mean, Mole lives underground, and he starts out the story, doesn't he, spring cleaning, and he just gets frustrated and goes up, but he doesn't really know what to do till he meets Ratty, and then he takes him out on the boat, and his horizons are constantly changing. I believe that's another quote that Ratty says, quotation rather, that Ratty says to Mole. So I think their relationship is one of a parent encouraging a child out into the world to stretch themselves a bit. Anyway, I'll give you 5 minutes to do that, Year 7. Today we're writing persuasively again, but we're going to be including a lot more descriptive writing into our persuasive writing. We're going to be using lots of adjectives and figurative language devices like similes and metaphors and so on, combining that with our persuasive writing that we are obviously getting better and better at. So the title you need to put into your books is Writing Persuasively and Descriptively. Right, there's 4 slides or 5 slides coming up, and I want you to write in your books what words you would use to describe the different scenes, and I want you to use as many adjectives and language devices as you can. Now, so you want a little paragraph, albeit a short one. It doesn't have to be any more. I mean, you can do more if you want, but a short paragraph for each one would be fantastic. You're using at least one language device, so what, a simile, a metaphor, a personification, at least one of those, not all 3 of them, at least one of them. You can include more than brilliant, and as many adjectives as you can, because they are, after all, describing words. And after that, if you've got a thesaurus, see if you can find some synonyms for the words that you've found. But don't worry if you don't have one. The point of this task is to write a little descriptive piece underneath each picture on the following 5 slides that includes one language device and as many adjectives as possible. And you've got 20 minutes to do that. So you might want to work your way through the next 5 slides. Okay, now you've done that, you've got the raw material which we're going to combine with our persuasive techniques to produce a pamphlet that will be both informative and persuasive for tourists coming to Rosehill and make them want to stay and spend their money there and have a look around. So here's a little reminder of all the things that I know we already know. Daft Forest there, direct address, anecdote and alliteration. Always be careful with that alliteration. Make sure it's done for effect. Anecdote particularly powerful. Not sure that you could. Yes, no, you can use an anecdote in a tourist pamphlet. Absolutely, yes. Facts, opinion, rhetorical questions and repetition, exaggeration and emotive language, statistics, triples, or power of 3, or as I prefer to call them, and I think we should all start thinking about calling them this now, a tricolon, which is the technical name. So a tricolon, the power of 3. So those are the devices. When I know you've already got them written in your book, so it's not a test. You can refer to them to do the piece of writing that's coming up. Now you simply have to write, well, I say simply, it's actually quite a difficult thing to do. Write a pamphlet for tourists that introduces all your favourite places in Rosehill. They could be like the ones that we looked at on the slide earlier on. Look at your map that you did the other day. and I want a nice pamphlet that combines descriptive writing with the persuasive devices that we've been learning in a pamphlet. And you know, take some photographs and send it to me. I love seeing your work. I've been seeing quite a lot of it and rewarding it accordingly. Some of you I still haven't heard from, so there may be sound reasons for that. But if you can, then send me any work that you do. But so there you are. You're making a pamphlet that combines descriptive writing and persuasive writing, looking at all the writing about all the places that we put on your map in the last lesson. I hope you enjoy that, Year 7, and I will speak to you again very soon.